Now here's a lasting longer in bed tip from a weightlifter, from a powerlifter, Eric. He reached out to me and he said, when I have sex, I do the Valsalva maneuver. Then I can pretty much last as long as I want. A lot of powerlifters know this apparently, and it's problem solved. Mark Rippetoe, the ultimate authority on safe lifting form, in my opinion, he teaches the Valsalva as part of strength training. It's a way of taking a big breath, holding it, and increasing your thoracic pressure. And this helps you kind of pump up and keeps your back safe when you're lifting heavy. And by the way, if you're wondering, the name comes from A.M. Valsalva, who came up with this thing about 300 years ago as a way of increasing pressure and blowing pus out of your ears. Using breath to create pressure, you see. But we're making a few leaps here, from blowing pus out of our ears to doing heavy squats and then to lasting longer in bed. And I hadn't made that last connection before. Big breath, hold it, you go down, you come back up, and you breathe out again. But if you're having sexual intercourse, especially if it's for longer than 10 seconds, how does that breath hold work? Because in sex therapy, we want guys to be breathing more during sex, not keeping it held in. So I get back to Eric with curiosity. So are you holding your breath during sex? How does that work? Eric replies, and he's happy for me to share this, by the way. Not during intercourse. I do it as a warm-up, just before having sex and when I need to take a quick break to reset my arousal. Doing the Valsalva primes my pelvic floor and it slows me down at the same time. Hold, push down and through, breathe out. That's my advice. I think I get it. And I think there's something in this for guys who want to delay their ejaculation, whether they do squats and deadlifts and weight training or not. You may have seen similar tips before. There's a lot of info and discussion about breathing properly, pelvic relaxation, the PC muscle, reverse kegels, etc. But here's where I think the Valsalva is helping Eric and the powerlifters in their intimate lives. Big breath. Hold. It's like a glottal hold. You can still open your mouth. Think blowing up a balloon or taking a breath and pushing your broken down car up a hill. I think Mark Rippetoe sometimes describes it in that way. That bit of downward pressure on your pelvic floor has a reverse kegel effect. It's pushing your PC muscle into relaxation a bit. See my other video about kegels and reverse kegels for a primer on that. So for lasting longer in bed, a relaxed PC muscle is way to go, not the opposite, not the clenching, not the sucking it up and holding it. And this is because tension builds down there as we get closer to ejaculation. So doing something like the Valsalva just before sex and now and again during pauses, changing positions, that's resetting that build-up of tension. It's saying to your pelvis, not now, let go, calm down there. Now I teach a similar thing to guys. We call it the cool down. It's a single breath technique followed by relaxation, letting go all the way down. And that's also a quicker reset than just stopping, trying not to think about coming, hovering. That's not fun for you or your partner. And another reason why these techniques are effective, the Valsalva, the cool down, these are what's known as vagal maneuvers. The big outward breath activates the vagus nerve, which is that big nerve along the spine that influences how activated we are. Doing these things engages more of the parasympathetic nervous system, the relaxed, taking my time, enjoying the ride state. And we want more of that during sex too. Now, if you like this kind of thing, see Andrew Huberman and the physiological sigh, because it's the same concept, using breath to get a relaxation effect on demand. So thank you, Eric, for this top tip, because describing and teaching these techniques so that guys really feel the benefits during sex, it's not easy. The reverse kegel, the letting go of tension, the relaxing down and through the pelvis is quite a subtle thing to do. So learning how to hold things tight under the bar to get that Valsalva effect and then being able to let it all go is another way of getting this technique. And there's yoga too, and that's another good way to get it, and tantric work, like using your breath to draw sexual energy through your body. These are all different approaches to deeper relaxation and finding that parasympathetic state. There are lots of resources about the Valsalva, and I should mention that it's relatively safe to do. But be mindful that if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure, you need to be careful. Any exercise that raises pressure, even temporarily, should be checked with your doctor before you start doing it. Experience what your body can do with proper form, because the same applies to sex. Remember, we want to be breathing during sex. We want to be tension-free down in our lower bodies. The opposite of that is a fast forward to ejaculation. So it's letting go and down through your pelvis, down to your arse and just forwards a little. That's the way to go. See my Lasting Longer course for more on this and on the cool down technique and an action plan for putting it all together. And thank you, Eric, and thank you for watching.